matter. Once the water runs clear and there's evidence there's no foreign matter, then that part is done. Next, you take a very soapy sponge, you lift up on the legs, and then you take your left hand and you go up and you wash the private parts, the front and the back, with the soapy water. And you take the water, the hose, and you run it up here until the water runs clear. Then you take cotton, a ball of cotton, the left hand, and you go up and you stuff it into the rectal area of the deceased firmly, till it's wedged in there firmly, so there's no leakage. Then you let the body down.
And always be conscious of keeping the private parts covered.
In addition to stuffing the rectum, sometimes it's advisable to stuff the other openings of the body, such as the nose, the ears, so that no foreign matter can get in there and cause leakage later on. After stuffing the openings, then we perform the wudu. You do the wudu. Wash your hands 3 times. Through the mouth. Through the face. The arms up to the elbow. To the head. With the ears. Then you go to the feet. Right foot up to the ankle 3 times. The left foot up to the ankle 3 times. Now you've done the wudu. Now you start the ghusl.
The ghusl. The ghusl is the thorough washing of the body. You completely wash the entire body.
Start the chest area, under the armpits, the neck, down to the hip, by lifting the private covering, the hips, letting it back down, raise it up to the thigh, then going down. Then we wash it with warm, clear water. That side, from down to the hip, we raise the garment slightly to get the soap off. We do the same again, go all the way down. We do repeat this 2 more times on the right side. Then we come and we do the same thing on the left side, the same procedure. Then we wash that side of the body, wash front of the body. Now, we wash the back of the body by tilting the body, and then so we take the same type of material and we wash the right side of the body, the back. Wash it down to the buttocks. Then we take it and we come down and wash it to the back of the thigh, in the back. Then we tilt the body over and we rinse that down 3 times.
Down to the buttocks.
Down to the buttocks. And we do the same from the thigh down, the back of the thigh down. On the right side, we repeat the operation on the left side till the body, the water runs clear and the body is clean. Then usually at that time, private parts garment would usually be wet. So what we do then, we change it. The way we do that, we take the dry, clean covering and we place it on top of the other. Then one person holds it down, okay, pull it from the body. Grab the whole thing and pull it out.
Go for it?
Yes. So then the body still all maintain the modesty to cover it at all times.
The sheets
then
go.
the sheets go in the disposal. Now it's time for the camphor rinse. The assistant fills the bucket with warm water and breaks up camphor. Angels love the smell of camphor, and we're going to rinse the body with camphor water 3 times. Then we begin the process of rinsing the body down, starting on the right side, from the head down to the privates, lifting the garment slightly, getting the hip, doing the same below, getting up to the thigh, rinsing it down 3 times on both sides. After the camphor rinse, then you take towels, dry towels, and you dab the body dry of moisture all over the body, front and back. And remember, it's very important to remember, during this whole process, you handle the body just as gently and compassionately as you would yourself, because the body, the person can feel everything that's happening and is aware of it, they just cannot respond. So you're doing for them what they're not able to do anymore, but you want to give them the consideration as you're doing it for yourself. So be conscious of that at all stages of this procedure. Once we patted the body dry, then we move the body to the shrouding table, which has been prepared with the shroud. In preparing the shroud, it consists of 3 wraps. First shroud is the shortest sheet that goes over the body first of the 3 shrouding sheets. Then we have the overgarment, which is cut so that it goes over the top of the body to below the private parts, from the head down, the shoulders to below the private parts. If you have manpower and no machinery, the shrouding table is put right next to the prep table. Then you have men on both sides go under the body, grabbing the body in the heaviest part, that's the thighs and the back of the shoulders, and then Bismillah, you lift the body over to the shrouding table, keeping the private parts always covered. You've had the shroud, the overcut, you cut it here, and slightly cut it, and then you tear it so that it fits over the head, down the shoulders, covering the private part. And once you've got that done, then you remove, holding this, you remove the wet. You got that done? And you dispose of it in the disposable. Then you tuck the shroud, covering over the arms. Now the first shroud sheet is the shortest one. Then you take it, you cover the body. Once we have the overgarment covering the body, then the body now is lying on 3 shrouding sheets. We start with the first sheet from the left side, put that down. And we go over the body snugly with the sheet, snugly. The whole from the below the feet to the top of the head. We tuck it in. Then we come over it with the right side over the body, snugly. We put the feet together, and we have it snug. That's the first sheet. Then we begin shrouding the body with the second sheet. We start on the left, go over the body to the right, cover the feet all the way up beyond the head, snugly. In the middle of the body, the legs, the hips, the back, the arms. Then we come over that, the second sheet, with the right side, snugly. Then the final sheet, the longest sheet, will come over, starting from the left to the right, cover the body snugly. Then the right. In the preparation of the shrouding sheets, most of the time we use 3 ties. Sometimes people use 5. One of the ties goes by the feet, the other tie goes right above the hips, the other ties go right at the shoulders. Now, the 5th tie, the 4th, 5th tie is optional depending on the size of the person. One of the ties is wrapped. The shrouding is wrapped like this and such, and it's tied with one of the ties. This tie is pulled and tied. This tie is pulled and tied. This tie is pulled and tied. Then the feet are wrapped according the same as the head and are tied. Now the body is ready to be moved to the casket if you're in a facility where they have to be buried in the casket. And if not, it's ready to be covered to be taken to the place of the Janaza prayer. Okay. The purpose of the ties is to keep the shroud in place while handling and moving the body. Once the body has been put in the place that is going to be put before it's put in the grave or in the coffin or the casket, then all the ties must be removed, untied, so that the body is not restricted, because when the angels come to visit the body, they don't want it to be restricted. The body needs to be free. After the shrouding, we make a dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the decedent to forgive us if we've made any errors, if we've handled them inappropriately, we handled him too harshly or dropped him or made a mistake. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Jamal Abdul Khalik Abdul Samad. For about 15 years I used to do the janazas for the Islamic Center here. Me and a few other brothers, you know. As a matter of fact, the brother who taught me had to end up doing him, you know, so. No, that was Issa. Yeah. Well, Issa was the one that put me down on doing the janazas, you know. I said, I think all Muslims should know or even experience and watch and seeing how janazah is performed. It's a feeling that you don't forget, man, and when you put yourself into doing that and taking care of that Muslim's body, it's like you put a sincere into it because you want that person to do you the same way when it's your time to lay on the table, you know? Because we all gonna lay on the table one day. And I think it was a baby one time. Oh, yeah, it was a little baby that died cradle birth. And then there was another one, about 5, who had drowned it in the bathtub because his parents wasn't watching him. You know, it was kind of, it wasn't intentional, but it just felt safe that he would be all right, and that's the way he went. That was a little sad, you know, to see, but, you know, Allah knows best, though, you know. Where it's all written for all. The thing about death is that we we Muslims, we understand death, and we understand that we're going to have to go one day, but the mystery is that we don't know when, how, and where, and under what causes it may be. You know, that's the mystery of death.
So what has been your experiences with Janaza?
Once I had an experience that really woke me up about life and death. That when I attended a Janazah, they surprisingly asked me to help with washing the body. That was an experience, an eye-opening experience for me, because I didn't intend on having that experience, and when Allah opened my eyes with that experience, I really got a real insight on life and death and the Islamic principle. So with that, it made my deen even stronger.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Muhammad Qureshi. The center started providing the burial services or janazas to the Muslims in 1998. We used to do it before, but from that 98 we started to have our own mortuary where the body comes to the Islamic Center and it stays here, handled by Muslims, and we prepare everything, the ghusl and washing, the paperwork and coordination with the cemetery, and at the time of burial we take the body to the cemetery for burial. We have a room where we have storage capacity for 6 remains at the same time, and we have a burial room and the table to do the washing, and the table for doing the shrouding or coffin, and there's enough space and electronic equipment, and as of course the sisters are washed by sisters and brothers are washed by brothers, and we have at least 3 people to do one janaza, and one is a team leader and the other 2 helpers, and we keep good track of who did the washing and what kind of washing was done and things like that. And we also allow the families to see the remains after the washing is done, which is done right in our own facility, and then the body is taken to the cemetery for burial. Here at the Islamic Center we handle all of the janaza needs, local burials as well as shipment overseas. Half of our burials or handlings are overseas shipments. In other words, if you have a family chooses to Forest Lawn or anywhere in Los Angeles County, we can do the whole arrangement of getting the paperwork and arranging the burial, and the burial can take place anywhere the family wishes. My name is Muhammad Qureshi and I'm at the Islamic Center of Southern California. Our phone number here is 213-382-9200, and our website is islamctr.org, islamctr.org. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I'm Imam Dr. Rida Mustafa Khalilullah, resident Imam of Masjid Bilal Ibn Rabah in Los Angeles, California. I've been the Imam at this masjid since 1979. I've been an Imam in Los Angeles, California since 1975. Alhamdulillah. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahumma nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu. ونعوذ بالله من سيئات أعمالنا ومن شرور أنفسنا فمن يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله وبعد. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, peace and blessings on the Messenger of Allah. O Allah, we praise Allah, we thank Allah, and we seek Allah's forgiveness. And we seek refuge in Allah from any evil tendencies in ourselves and from our mistakes. And whom Allah has guided, there is none that can lead them into error. Janazah. What is Janazah? Janazah is a prayer service. It is a duty owed to every Muslim, which is composed of 4 takbirs, or the saying of Allahu Akbar. In the beginning of this service, which we said is a takbir, which is saying Allahu Akbar, the imam, or the one leading the prayer, raises his hands, and everyone who is lined up with him in the same way that they would be if they were in the masjid would say the same thing. They would do the same thing, raise their hands. And in the beginning, the first takbir, the imam says what is called the istiftah, or dua istiftah, which is the opening supplication, which is followed by al-Fatiha, and that is as follows: Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa tabarak ismaka wa ta'ala jadduka wa la ilaha ghayruka. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Then there's the second takbir. And the second takbir, the Imam says Allahu Akbar without raising his hands. And he invokes Allah's blessings upon the Prophet by saying the second part of what's called Shahaddut, or Salat al-Nabi, which is Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. That's the second takbir. The third takbir, the Imam prays for the deceased by saying the following: Allahumma aghfir li hayyina wa mayyitina wa shahidina wa ghaibina wa saghirina wa kabirina wa dhakirina wa unthana. Allahumma man ahyaytahu minna fahyihi ala al-Islam. Fourth takbir, Allahu Akbar. Allahumma arfir lil mu'min wal mu'minat. O Allah, grant forgiveness to all Muslim men and all Muslim women. O Allah, forgive those of us who are still living and those of us who are dead, those of us who are present and those of us who are absent, our minors and our elders. O Allah, let the one whom you keep alive from among us live according to Islam, and the one who you cause to die from among us die as a believer.
Cover, lower the body, make a prayer over our brother as he's being lowered into the ground, and we'll be careful walking over.